Here's my review of Gen V Episode 5. This is a very confusing episode, but I think it is structured to be that way. We're picking up right after the last episode ended, where they kind of all blacked out, and they kind of all blacked out at this party, and everything's crazy. And the main premise is them kind of trying to figure out what happened, what caused this to happen, and why. And I really liked it. Like I said, it's more of what the show is great at. It's more of the gore. It's more of the comedy, raunchiness, of course, but the characters. Every time you're kind of like taken out saying, oh, this is over the top, then the characters anchor you because they just feel so real. That was what was great about this episode as well as the show. And just like last episode when Emma got all big to take down Sam, she was completely blacked out and she's just asleep in the pool, huge. And that part was just kind of hilarious. I really enjoyed that part. That was just really funny. It does kind of make you think, because this is a character, though, how... when you think about how powerful she is, and the concept of her power, though, the idea of not only of not being able to control yourself always could really put you in a horrifying situation. Like, imagine, like, just, like, the idea of blacking out, like, imagine if she somehow sunk. And, I don't know, I just kind of got almost, even though it was funny, it kind of got more of it's kind of terrifying in a way, even if it's kind of played off for laughs. At least that's what I got out of it. And you're seeing more of Sam's mental health deteriorate as he's getting crazier and crazier. And you know that, like, something bad's going to happen. Because that's obviously the basic premise of this episode, is we're trying to catch up with Luke after what happened. And you kind of are almost worried for him, as well as the people who he's around. And similar to the boys, as he sees these fantasies of when he'll see the guards, like how Black Noir will see them, is like puppets. And it really is interesting during this fight scene when he is captured. When he's captured by this, like, team of Godolkin University as he's in the woods. And you see how it's all puppets and how he sees things. And even though it's kind of crazy, because it's still very gory, even with the puppets, which is crazy. And then you're kind of anchored back to reality. When it's revealed that he really was killing actual people, and it's showing us what happened, even though he sees it as puppets, which really kind of, like, makes you think about how crazy he kind of is going. And it kind of gets you nervous about this character, because you like this character. You know he is a good person, at least as far as you know. I mean, like, he's just kind of going crazy. And at the end of it, he was kidnapped. These are terrible people, so, like, don't feel bad about that. But yeah, I thought that was one of my favorite parts of the episode, as I almost thought it was more horrifying seeing the puppets get slaughtered than when we reveal to humans, because it makes you just think about how crazy Sam is. And the biggest reveal of this is that it's Kate who kind of made them black out. And it's making you think, I mean, as of right now, I don't really understand her motivation, why she was doing this, why she's doing this to people. But I will say it completely threw me off, and I kind of enjoyed the reveal. And it almost kind of feels like she's kind of feels bad about it in a way too. And you can see, like, looks like a blood vessel exploded in her eye. Like, she's kind of like almost on the brink of collapse herself, as well as a lot of characters, I feel. At least that's what I got out of it. So yeah, overall, I thought this was another really great episode. You also get some good moments with Jordan and Andre, although I didn't really feel like they were as big enough to mention here. But like I said, a lot of this episode is kind of like, it is structured to be confusing because you're supposed to kind of see it from the character's perspective, where a lot of this episode is just kind of you figuring out, why do they black out, what happened, what's going on with Sam, who is he killing, why is he doing it. And it's a lot of what, who, what, when, where, why, but it's all done in a way where it's confusing, but you get a proper reveal, obviously, but it's almost, this episode I feel like plays more of a mystery. And it is very interesting as, like, of what we think is happened and what they show us to happen before we get the reveal. And there's a lot of stuff where they think, like, some of this is all related to Rufus before we obviously know the reveal. And like I said, it's structured in a mystery, this particular episode. And obviously we know it's not. And yeah, but overall, I still really enjoyed this episode. I kind of liked how it felt more of a mystery, which kind of I feel like fits the tone of this show because I feel like we are trying to uncover this dark mystery within this university. And yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was really good, and I'm loving the show so far. And yeah, it was a great episode.